Now, we drive a lot of new cars on the Granada Men Motors channel. After all, it's our job. We bring the reports to you every week, which we hope you appreciate. And quite often we drive new vehicles, completely new vehicles, ones that aren't even in the dealership yet. Now, at the time of driving this, at the time of recording this, this Vauxhall Zafira won't be on sale for another month or so. So one would have thought, as has been the case when we have driven cars in the past, which haven't been out yet, you get a few stares, you get a few people pointing, a few sort of, don't know what that is, do you, Bob? But so far today, no one's noticed. Now, it could be because of the, dare I say, bland styling of this new Vauxhall Zafira. Now, that could be, actually, a design feature that's been built in by Vauxhall. After all, if you drive a full-size MPV, it does tend to rather say, hey, look at me, I'm a family person. I have 3 kids in the back, I do the school run every day, and I go to most school plays. Now, if you've got a mini MPV like this one, and after all, this looks like a pumped-up Astra, which of course it is based on an Astra. Many things are different, but it is, after all, an Astra. Maybe that anonymity is what the average family person really wants. What the Zafira offers is the mini MPV experience, the one that has been so successful for the Renault Scenic. Now, the Scenic, of course, offers 5 seats, and it offers the mini MPV experience. You don't get much luggage space, but you're high up. You get all the advantages that you get in a full-size MPV, but without the hassle of parking and having a thirsty engine and all that nonsense. So it took the industry by surprise, I must admit. Many car companies thought, hang on, this Renault Scenic is taking off, people are buying it, let's get going, boys. And of course the Mazda Premacy, Ford have got one coming out. Quite a few companies have got mini MPVs coming up in the next few years. Now, the Vauxhall Zafira really is the first in this new wave of mini MPVs, and I think that it will be a big success. My colleagues have driven this as well as myself. We've all agreed that it is much more refined, it is much more solid than the Renault Scenic, and also it offers 2 more seats, albeit little baby seats that pop up at the back. They're children's seats. You couldn't really put adults in there for an appreciable amount of time. But they are 2 more seats, and that might make all the difference between choosing this and the Renault Scenic. After all, the luggage space is poor really in both, and if you are going to seriously take 7 people away on a weekend or wherever, you are still going to need a pod on the roof, but there again you would still if you had a full-size MPV. The Vauxhall Zafira is a very smooth car to drive. It has got, in this particular version, which is the Elegance, which is the top of the range, a 1.8 engine, it is so smooth that it's very quiet indeed. On the motorway it's extremely quiet as well. The wind noise is very, very low. I don't understand how they do it. Because it looks the same sort of shape as the Scenic, but it's got a much better CD value, which is the aerodynamic factor, and basically the wind noise is minimized. On the niggle side, I would say that the gears worry me a little bit. They're just a little bit too low down. I think the throw is a bit too long as well, and this flipping armrest gets in the way. No, I can't even put it down now. I have to find the book, and that gets in the way of throwing the gears, which annoys me. And also something that annoys me, but it annoys me in every Vauxhall, this stupid display outfit here. I just don't understand why we need to know the outside temperature, today's date, and the time, which, you know, just burns into your eyes every time you look down at the dashboard. But all Vauxhalls have got that, so we can't really just complain just about the Zafira and that particular thing. But the gears, please look at that Vauxhall. I think they're a bit rubbery. I think it could be a bit sportier and nicer, please. Well, I must admit that the Vauxhall Zafira was a big hit on our family weekend. The kids in the back liked being up high so they could look out the windows. They get less bored on the long journey. I enjoyed it more because the kids were less bored. My wife enjoyed it not just for the driving experience, but because it was much quieter actually, and especially at speed in our normal car we drive, it's very difficult to hold a conversation, and I think refinement is a very, very important factor, especially if you have young kids and you want to communicate with them instead of shouting at them all the time. So that does help, and it helps for a nice, peaceful, harmonious family. So if you're choosing between the Renault Scenic and the Vauxhall Zafira, obviously drive them both. Some people may be put off by the bland styling of the Zafira and like the French charm of the Renault, and maybe you don't need those 2 extra seats in the back, which is fine. I think you have to weigh up the price of one against the other very carefully. But I personally like the Zafira. If I had to choose a mini MPV, it would be a Vauxhall Zafira at the moment. But if time isn't of the essence and you don't have to choose straight away, well, wait 6 to 9 months, because soon there'll be many more mini MPVs on the market, and then you'll have your choice of half a dozen.
After the break, we'll drive Zafira's rivals, the established Scenic and the new Fiat Multipla.